we're just going to do a regular warm-up today. We're just going to start off marching very, very slow. Just keep moving. We just want to get our heart rate, go at your own pace. And let's take that march to a wider march. And take it back to the middle and take it up a little bit higher this time. Try to bring your opposite hand to your knee. And now let's just rock in place, open your arms up really wide and bring it back together. So we're getting our shoulders, our back just in front and just moving a little bit on our feet. And take our feet up to a little bit of a calf raise, just 5 of these. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's do a heel tap to the front. And let's now do a toe tap to the front. Let's do kickbacks so we get our hips, our hamstrings a little bit warmed up. And let's warm up our hips a little bit more. So let's do some hip circles for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And opposite way, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And our shoulders roll forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're gonna, as we do every week, we're gonna start with posture and end with posture. So your feet are solid on the floor, about hip width apart, belly button pulled in nice and tight. Your head is sitting nicely on your shoulder, plumb line pulling you up nice and tall. One hand behind your head, the other on your chin. Push your chin back into the hand in the back. So your head is floated nicely on top of your shoulder. Your ears are over your shoulder, your shoulders over your hips over your knee, knees over your ankle. Your navel, belly button is pulled in nice and tight, and your shoulder is down and relaxed. So I'm going to remind you throughout the class to keep your belly button pulled in nice and tight. That really helps with your posture. So we're going to warm up our feet a little bit. So sitting on your chair, we're just going to point and flex for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and circle out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to do some sits to stand. So sitting up nice and tall in your chair, your belly button's pulled in. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart. We're going to do the first set, 5 reps with arms. So we're going to use our arms to get up. And sit in nice and soft in the chair. No plopping down on the chair. 2, 3, 4. Hi, Sandra. And 5. And the second set, we're going to take our arms out of the equation. So we're going to cross our arms across our chest. And we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the first set of change that we're going to make, we're going to do squats, and we're going to add a little bit of a rotation to it. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to build on this squat to add a little bit more. I'm going to make it a true compound exercise. So today, our regular squat, we're going to turn to the side and back and stand up. So we're going to turn to the other side, back, and stand up. So we're going to do 10 reps, alternate in which side we go to. So let me just do that one more time for you. So we're going to squat down, alternate, rotate to the left, back, squat, rotate to the right, and back. So let's do 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And as usual, we're going to do our calf raises with our squats. So calf raises and heel rocks. So going up on your toes and rocking back on your heels. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you may find that doing those squats and rotations, we're going to take a short break, your heart rate goes up a little bit. So once again, we're going to start off with our feet about shoulder width apart, and we're going to do our second set of the squats with the rotation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so let's move on to our second set of calf raises with heel rocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to move on to side leg lifts. And we've been doing a modified good morning with these, but this week, instead of a good morning, this, when we superset with our side leg lifts, we're going to do we're going to kick our legs back, working on our glutes and our hamstrings. So when we get to that, I'll go over it more. So standing nice and tall, if you can do this without holding on to the chair, try it. 1, 10 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you could do this without holding on. I'm going to do a couple with holding on, and the other I'm going to take my hands off the chair. So you're just bringing your leg back, standing nice and tall, belly button pulled in. And as you bring your leg back, you squeeze your glutes and bring it back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you do need to hold on, go ahead, try with just a couple of fingers on the chair, and that will help your balance. You don't have to grab onto the chair, just a couple of fingers will help your stability. So let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, contract your glutes when you bring your legs back. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And shake it out. You should be really feeling this in your hips and your glutes. So let's do our second set of side leg lifts. 1, you can do it without holding on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And do the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And some of you may find that one side is easier than the other. So let's do the last set of leg lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the last side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to introduce something new right now before we work on our chest. If you have light weights, if you don't, it's perfectly fine. You can do this with just your hand. This is a core exercise, and strength and balance, everything comes from your core. So I'm going to add a little bit. So your feet should be about hip width or slightly wider, really solid on the ground. Your knees are slightly bent and your hips are down, bent and down in the back. So you're going to hold a weight in front of you with both hands. If you don't have weight, you could definitely do this exercise without the weights. You're going to feel it in your core. Your hips are going to stay pointing forward the entire time. You're not moving your hips. You're moving your torso and your trunk. So you're going to move off to the side and up and down and up. It's called a V swing. As you can see, we're making a V motion. So you're moving your torso and up and down. So up and down and up and down. And I haven't been counting, so let's take a break, and this time we'll count. We'll do 10. So feet solid on the ground, your knees slightly bent, your hip is bent, and down to the back, starting off in the front. Let's go to the side and up. And you're not going higher than chest height. And down and up and down. This is about 4, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And since I talked through the first one, I'm going to do one more set. I normally only do 2 sets of everything, but today let's do a third set. And we will progress this exercise and make it a little bit more difficult as the weeks go on. So starting in front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're not swinging, you're moving. 8, 9, and 10. All right, I hope you like that. I did. So if you have TheraBands, we're going to work on some scapular retractions and some chest press. If you don't have bands or you can't use them, it's perfectly fine. Everything we're doing you can do without the bands. So if you don't have bands, just your arms at the side, and you're just going to pull your hands out and squeeze your shoulder blades together. So the first set, keeping your elbows at the side, your hands are chest height. You're just pulling out and squeezing your shoulder blades together. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And to work the opposing muscle or chest, just put the band under your arm. If you don't have weights or a band, you're just going to push through as if you're pushing through water. Make sure your belly button's pulled in and your posture is really nice and tight. So your elbows are about shoulder height or slightly lower. Your hands are chest height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And for the second set, that first exercise, the first scapular retraction is called a W. We're going to do a T. So I'm going to do it sideways a little bit. So your hands are straight out in front of you, about chest height, no higher than your shoulder. And you're just going to pull out to the side and squeeze your shoulder blades together. This is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's put that off to the side. And we are going to go on to lunges. So this is just a review. I'm going to do it sideways. We're doing a lunge and a high knee. So you're going to lunge back and up. If that is hard or you have knee problems, you could do a big step back and up, or you could just do a big step back to the front and cut out the knee lift. So do what is comfortable for you. I'm going to start off on my right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch over to the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So for our shoulders, I'm not going to use weights today because I'm changing that also. We're going to do, before we get started, I'll just show you what we're doing. We're doing a front raise and out. Front raise and out. So let's do 10 of them. No weights today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So I hope you like that one. I like it. So let's do our last set of lunges. Once again, I'm starting off on my right leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's do our last set of shoulders. So if you're doing this standing, make sure your posture is really good. Belly button pulled in, shoulders relaxed. And as you're moving, you don't want to hike your shoulders up to your ears. They should stay down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this is a good time for a water break if you have water. So we're moving on to one of my favorites. We're doing stepping over the sleeping dog. So if anyone is new, I'm just going to show you what we are doing. We're going to step forward with a high. We're bringing our legs up pretty high, stepping forward. We're bringing our legs back high, and we're moving over to the side and back. And we're going to do it on both sides. It's essentially an exaggerated front and side lunge. And it's a great exercise for getting in and out of the bathtub, getting in and out of a car, especially a high car that you have to step into, like an SUV, avoiding obstacles and avoiding your pets in your house. So I'm going to start on my left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's switch over to this side. Going forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So with that, we're going to do bicep curls. So we're going to do a slow march with our bicep curls. So if you don't have weights, you can definitely do this. Keep your arms locked at your side and move deliberately up and down. You're not swinging your arms. So I'm going to start off with my right arm up and my left leg, so it's opposite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to add a third exercise. Normally when we do our shoulders, we do a tandem stance, which we didn't do today. So let's do that now. So 1 foot in front, your heel touching your toe, standing nice and tall. If that is too hard for you, give yourself a little bit of space, but you're like on a railroad, your feet are on the railroad track. one in front of the other. If that is still too hard.
Can you go down a little? Like this, I can see your feet.
Sure, 1 second.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do it sideways. So, heel touching your toe. If that is too hard, give yourself a little bit of space. And if that is too hard, just move 1 foot offset a little bit. So standing nice and tall, and to make it even harder, I want you to move your arms around. To really test your balance. And move it in front.
Your feet are flat.
Yes.
Or they are
on the
They're on the ground. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this is just, and what is really important in this exercise is that you are using perfect posture. So that really helps a great deal. Just gonna fix the screen. So let's go back to stepping over the sleeping dog. Last set. So starting off with my left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's move over. Starting in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And our last set of bicep curls and high knees. So I'm going to start with my left arm up and my right knee. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's just do a little bit more of the tandem stance. So this time I'm going to have my left foot in front, and I'm going to do it offset a little bit so you can see. And standing nice and tall, belly button pulled in, shoulders are down. Just move your arms around to throw yourself off balance and see if you can maintain that stance. You can do it in front, behind, over, together, and back. It's just a great way to practice your balance. So the next thing we're going to do is a little bit more specific balance exercise. We're going to do braided. And if you're new, it's similar to the grapevine that you would do in an aerobics class, except that we're going to make the steps a little bit smaller front and back. So I'm going to start off with my right foot over my left, my right foot behind my left, my right foot over, my right foot behind. Let's do one more, my right foot over. So now I'm starting with my left foot behind, left foot in front, left foot behind, and left foot in front. So let's do that one more time. So this time, let's start off with my left. So my left foot in front, and you should not be looking down at your toes as you're doing this. So left foot in front, left foot behind, and left foot in front. Start off with right foot behind, right foot in front, right foot behind, right foot in front, and right foot behind. So with this, we're going to do tandem walks, but I'm changing it slightly. So the traditional tandem walk is heel toe, similar to the tandem stance. If that is hard, you know you can put a little bit of space in between your toes and your heel, or move one leg, one foot off to the side. So to make it a little bit harder, make sure you're within an arm's reach of your chair. We're only going to do a few. We're going to do a high tandem walk. So we add in a little bit more balance. And you don't have to do heel toe, and we're going to do this backwards. Okay, let's do that again. So you also should not be looking at your feet while we're doing this one. So let's start again. So arms length of your chair. So you're going to do a high knee up. And a high knee back. So, you don't have to do a heel toe. Let's do one more. You don't have to do a heel toe. Imagine that you're walking on a balanced beam or in a railroad tie. You could give yourself a little bit more space, but you're staying in that same plane. You're not moving off to the side. So let's do that one more time. So high knee up. And a high knee back. And you're not looking down at your toes. And that's it. So let's move on to a high knee with a twist. So we're getting some core and a little bit more rotation. When we did the squats in the beginning, that included a rotation, so we're adding a little bit more. So it's going to be one hand behind your head, high knee up, and twist. If you have any spine issues, you can just bring your knee up. You don't have to do the twist part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch over to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we are going to do some triceps. So if you don't have weights, you definitely can do this without any weights. Bend at the knee, bend forward at the hip. Your back is nice and flat and your head is in line with your spine. Your head is not bent forward. So elbows up at your side. You're going to extend your arms back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And put the weight off to the side. We're going to do our last set of high knees with a twist. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And last side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And our last set of triceps. So, bent at the knee, bent at the hip. And even in this position, you should still be paying attention to your posture. Your belly button is nice and tight, flat back, head in line with your spine. Elbows up and extend back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we have one more thing to do before we get to stretch. We're going to do some single leg stance. They're going to be 10 count. We're going to do it on both legs. I'm going to give, for anyone who finds this truly hard to do, I'm going to give you an option. You can do a kickstand. Just one knee bent. You're pointing your foot on your toe and you're just going to hold it there. If you can take your toe off the ground a little bit, that will give you more of a balance challenge. But if you can take your entire foot off the ground, and we're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you do have to hold on, just a couple of fingers on your chair will give you some stability. Let's do the other side. This time I'm going to have my leg in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And with that, we're going to do our stretch. So let's sit on our chair. Stretch and cool down, my favorite thing. So sit it up nice and tall in your chair. Let's stretch our hamstrings and our calves. One leg in front. Lean forward, grab your toes if you can reach it. If not, just have your foot as flexed as you can. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings and your calf. And switch over to the other side. Okay, sit up. So if you have hip, we could even have one leg out in front of the other, pull gently on your hip, cross it over at your shin, pull gently on the outside, all the way over, or you could do the figure 4 stretch. Just push gently on the inside of your knee and lean forward. And switch over to the other side. And have your legs nice and wide. We're going to stretch our lower back. So that you're sitting comfortably on the chair and securely on the chair. Your feet should be fairly wide. Your belly button still pulled in. You're going to lean over. Your back is still nice and flat. And this is just a gentle lower back stretch. You're not rounding your back. You're just leaning forward. And you're going to walk your hands over to one foot. And we're going to stay here for a little bit. And walk over to the other foot. roll up. So I'm going to do a stand-in hip flexor stretch. So my left leg is back. My leg is bent slightly, and I'm pushing this hip forward. And my left leg is back, so I'm having my left arm is up. And I'm just turning slightly away from that side, towards my right side. And switch sides. So now my right leg is back, my right arm is up, and I'm turning towards my left side. Pushing your hip forward. And stand up. Let's do a back stretch. Hands on the chair, knees slightly bent, and just pushing your hips away from your hands. You're not grabbing the chair, you're just pushing your hips away from your hands. And gently roll up. So let's stretch our shoulders. One hand across your chest, and you're just going to pull gently. And switch sides. And let's stretch our triceps. Your hands over your head, pulling gently on your elbow. And switch to the other side. And let's stretch our wrist out today. So one hand in front. You're just going to push gently on the top of your hand. And switch, pushing gently on your palm. Switch hands. And pushing gently on your palms. Okay, so shoulders pointing forward. We're going to do a gentle neck stretch. I'm turning to the right. And now I'm looking down. And over to the other side. You look at straight ahead first. And look down. Let's roll our shoulders forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And to the back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's end with posture as we started. So feet are solid on the ground, about hip width apart. Standing up nice and tall. Plumb line pulling you really tall. One hand behind your head, the other on your chin. Push your chin into the back of the hand in the back. Your chin is parallel to the ground. Your ears are over your shoulders over your hips over your knees. Your belly button is pulled in nice and tight, and your shoulders are relaxed and down in the back. Thank you guys so much. Hope you have a great week.
Thank you. Have a good week.